Over a month ago, I wired a lot of money for CNC machines that I purchased at auction. The machinery mover disappeared, the auction claims no responsibility, and I'm pretty much stuck holding the bag. If you watch my previous videos, you know I buy and sell machinery, I build stuff, I use machines. And a question that I get a lot of the time is, do you buy CNC machines at auction? I always say I try my best not to, and this right here is the reason why. I figured since I was getting so many questions about buying and selling at machinery auction, it'd be cool to do a video and purchase some machines at a machinery auction and show how they all come in the door, show the whole process of it. Well, I went against my better judgment. I did exactly that, and it turned out to be pretty much the worst case scenario known to man. I purchased 2 Akuma CNC lathes from BidSpotter for what seemed like a really good deal at the time, until you include the loading of the machines, the shipping of the machines, and all the headache that comes with them. And then on top of that, when you lose everything, it's a total bust. So these machines were about 10 hours away from me up in New Jersey. The shipping cost alone on those on a flatbed was going to be about $1,800. And the rigging fee was $1,300 to load these machines. Plus I had to pay the auction plus the auction fees. So it all seems like a good deal, right? Let me explain to you what happened to me so you can make your own decision on purchasing at machinery auctions. So what happened was I won the bids on the machines. I got the invoice for the machines. I actually zelled the money to the auctioneer for the machines, got that paid for. So then after that, I had to pay for rigging. So if you guys don't know, when you purchase big machinery at auction, you're only allowed to use certain movers because the auction will tell you that you can only use these certain movers at their auctions. And whether it's for insurance purposes or because they get a kickback, I don't know how that all works. I don't get into that. But long story short, once you pay for your machines at auction, you have to use who they tell you to load these machines at auction 9 times out of 10, right? So they line up the people that they want working at their auction. So at that point, you have to pay these people to load your machinery. So what I do just to cover my butt is I always call ahead of time. I get rigging quotes, estimates. If they're too high, I don't even mess with that auction. That's how it works at auction, you know? But again, I try not to purchase at auction at all because it becomes all quite grimy and slimy when you know the ins and outs. Before the auction even started, I had reached out to this gentleman, Richard Cantor from South Shore Rigging out of Florida, and I got an estimate from him to load the machines, $1,300. Seemed like an okay deal. It's not the best. 2 machines, $1,300, not the worst, not the best I've ever seen. But hey, it is what it is. I agreed upon it. He sent me an invoice. He was supposed to be loading that coming Monday. I think it was like, I can't remember what it was, maybe a Thursday or Friday. He was supposed to be loading that Monday. The Monday rolls around, he wants to get paid. Of course they want to get paid before they load the machines. That's just how it works. So I bank wire him $1,300. After I bank wire him the money, he tells me go ahead and schedule a truck to get in there Tuesday. During this whole time, the weekend goes by, it comes into Monday. The machinery mover, Richard Cantor, actually text messages me out of the blue and says, hey, I got to charge you $500 more to load your machine than I quoted you just to cover my costs. Red flags go off everywhere, just like crazy. I immediately call him and tell him, look, man, I have an invoice that you sent me. It's paid. It's signed. It's an agreed upon document. You need to load this machine for me. He hangs up. Gone. Nothing. I contact the auctioneer. The auctioneer says, let me handle it. The auctioneer talks to the rigger, I guess, and he agrees to pay the $500. I don't know why he would do that. I don't know if he did. That's just what he told me. So he said, everything will be good. You're good to go loading on Wednesday. Cool. I work with a freight broker. I schedule a semi. A semi shows up Tuesday. When the semi shows up Tuesday, he comes up with all these excuses and turns away the first semi that I had dispatched out there to pick up these machines. Of course, when you send a semi in and they don't pick up a machine, you still have to pay them something for going. So I had to pay him like $300 just for deadheading over there to pick up the machine. That's just what you have to do. After that, he schedules for 2 days later. 2 days later, he starts making up a story. Oh, there's a snowstorm, which there was, and I understand that. There's a snowstorm, blah, blah, blah. And that leads us to like the next weekend. So you go, it's a whole week later after I purchased the machine, and he was supposed to be up there loading, and there was a snowstorm. So then when the snowstorm happened, they said they wouldn't be resuming loading, and the auction even told me this too, until that following Wednesday. So you're going a whole nother week. We're getting in about 2 weeks there. So I had spoke to the auction, and I told them what was going on. I said, this guy turned my truck away. It doesn't seem right to me. Nothing about this feels right. You know, it's just not going to go good. And the auctioneer tells me, well, I think he's still gonna maybe show up, blah, blah, blah. I said, I don't think so, man. So the whole weekend goes by. I have my freight broker reach out to the rigger, Richard Cantor. They both agree Wednesday's gonna be the pickup day. They're gonna have a truck come in. Everything's gonna be loaded and all good. Cool. So Wednesday rolls around. I get a call from my freight broker. The freight broker tells me, hey, man, we got a truck sitting on site. I deadheaded them 4 hours to get there. They're telling us on site there's no forklift and there's no machinery mover. I'm like, what? Second truck. Again, I immediately start calling the machinery mover, Richard Cantor from South Shore Rigging out of Florida. He doesn't answer, he doesn't answer, he doesn't answer. Finally, he texts me with some BS story. During the snowstorm, his brother got into an accident in Ohio. He's now in Ohio. He can't believe that he has to answer all these messages when he's dealing with a family emergency. Again, alarm bells, you know? He hasn't contacted anybody until that time. He never contacted anybody until people started contacting him. I knew he was lying. This is a total scam. He just took everybody's money and bolted at this point is what I'm thinking in my mind. I reach out again to the auctioneer, and he's like, no, he's holding out faith. He's like, the guy's got a toolbox here. I was like, did he ever even bring forklifts? Has he even loaded one piece of machinery? At this point, 2.5 weeks has went by since all this started. He tells me, no, the guy never even had a forklift. All he did was come up there with a pickup truck, drop a toolbox off. That was it. Never loaded any machinery for anybody. I'm like, what? Then the auctioneer tells me that he actually has 3 other customers that hired this guy besides for myself to load his machinery. So at this point, I want out of the whole thing. So I simply text the machinery mover, Richard Cantor from South Shore Rigging out of Florida, and I just text him, hey, man, I understand stuff happens. Please just send me my money back, because I bank wired him the money. So after I did that, he starts getting belligerent and irate with me, texting me till 2, 3 in the morning. Here's some of the irate, crazy stuff that this guy has messaged me. And I had to block him in the end. He was going till 2, 3 in the morning with this stuff. I'm from Tennessee. I moved to Florida. Let's go. I know people in high places. And I know your kind. You're a big PUSS crybaby that wants something for nothing. Again and again and again. You're a BITCH. I've been with your kind before, so let's go. Whatever you want to do. And the last messages before I had to block him were, all I can see is you're a whiny little BITCH from Kentucky, which I'm not even from Kentucky anymore. I've met a lot of your kind. Go F off. That's pretty much what he said. So I ended up having to block this guy because he's freaking irate. And that's just a quarter of the messages that I got from this maniac. And the whole time I'm just trying to play it cool. I don't get into that telephone tough guy stuff, you know? So pretty much I got scammed. That's wire fraud right there. I wired him. I contacted the police up in New Jersey. Never received a call back. They're not going to do anything about it. I made a bank wire fraud thing with the FBI. They're not going to do anything about it. You know, nothing's probably ever going to come from this. The auctioneer did agree to pay me half of my rigging fee, which was $650, and give me my money back for the machinery, which is pretty stand up for him, because usually the auctioneers are just like, we don't take any accountability. We don't have anything to do with the riggers, even though they're the ones that tell you you have to use these specific riggers and these riggers only at our auctions. They still always just step back. That's what machinery auctioneers do. They just get their money. You have to fight tooth and nail to get any money back. So beware when you're purchasing from these auctions. This auctioneer did agree to send me half of the money back, which would be $650 for the rigging. So far, it's been a month. I got one check for $600. It wasn't even the $650 agreed upon. No check for the machinery. I messaged him about it. He was getting kind of irritated. I said, look, man, why don't you just Zelle me, because I Zelled you the money, and he guarantees me the check is in the mail. You know, he's a man of his word also, just like Richard Cantor. So I don't know how that's going to play out. We'll see if I get my money back in total in the end. Now it's been a month. It's been actually over a month now since all this has taken place, and here I am holding the bag. I'm out quite a bit of money for this whole ordeal. I had to pay trucks to go in twice. That equaled about $800. So then I've got the money to the rigger that was approved by the auctioneer to load machinery at this site. And then I'm also out my money for the machinery. So, you know, I'm out a couple $1,000s on this deal. and a lot of headache and a lot of stress, you know? You just don't need it. You know, on some of my videos I do where I import like Chinese CNC machines just to make videos and stuff for you guys to check them out and stuff like that. And I get a lot of flack and I get a lot of people saying, oh, well, you should purchase at auction. If you purchase at auction, you could get such and such and such and such for a quarter of that price of that machine that you bought in China brand new and blah, 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 and this and that and that, and you would have American made. Well, look, man, half the time, the machines that you're talking about, it comes from overseas, man. So kind of think about what you're saying when you leave it in the comments about, you know, how machinery from the US is better than machinery overseas, and you guys are talking about all these other brands and stuff. Most of their stuff comes from overseas, man. They just put it together here, or it just comes from overseas altogether. So that's a whole nother video, a whole nother story. But this is why sometimes it's better to just purchase a new machine or purchase a machine, you know, like I did from China at a quarter of the price, because at least it shows up. You know, I haven't been scammed from China yet. I've been scammed 3, 4, 5 times at auctions like this. I mean, you let me know, what do you think in the comments below? Is it worth the risk of getting scammed? You know, I always say if I do purchase at auction, I try to go there in person, check it out, make sure it's legit. But what could you do in this situation? You know, even if the machines were legit, which I'm pretty sure they were, the machinery mover wasn't. So, you know, you're lose-lose on this situation. What can you do about it? So I was also reached out to by one of the other people that purchase out there. He's out about $3,000 and he's still trying to get his machine. I'm like, man, I don't want those machines at all. I was just purchasing those to do a cool video. Totally failed, blew up in my face. That's what happens sometimes. But these are the dangers of purchasing at machinery auction. I hope this information helps you guys out when you're seeing those low prices for these machinery auctions online and you're thinking about purchasing from these machinery auctions. I would really give it a second thought. You know, like I said, I have purchased from machinery auctions, but it's always something, broken machines or something you got to fix. It's very rare that a company is just going to sell something that's pristine, nice condition, that doesn't have problems, you know, especially at auctions. Why would they not just post it online and try to sell it online if it was pristine working condition? You know, you get what you get at auctions, man, obviously. That's my story about what happened. It really sucks. At this point, like I said, I'm still waiting to get my check for the machines from the auctioneer. He seems like he's really going to send it. Who knows? Have you guys had any interactions with machinery auctions before? Leave it in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see all my other content, please subscribe to my channel. I really, really appreciate all the support. I'll see you guys on the next one.